Hello, everybody. I'm jumping into a little bit early today. I don't have it scheduled for 3:20, but please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. Texas goes on the road and gets a big win versus Arky. Not pretty offensively. Defense, again, bails out the offense consistently. This defense is phenomenal. It's a top 5 defense in this country. And we talked about the offense, guys. If they are not going to get it together, this team's not going to win a national championship. They're a good football team. They're not a great football team. Luckily, this is a down year in college football. But again, offense, why can't you get it together consistently? But again, guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. Check out the Amazon link in the description and use it. Christmas is coming up, so why not use that Amazon link? Changes nothing. Also, guys, we have memberships available now at the channel. If you subscribe, you request a video, I will make it. You get special emojis as well, and we can add to those emojis if you would like your own type of emoji. And catch us on any audio platform. If you don't want to look at me, you can at least listen to me while you're in the car or at work. So I really appreciate that, guys. Let's jump into your comments. Perfect description, Dan. Just win, baby. That's basically what we're doing right now. We're skating by with this offense, but the defense is balling out. Jahdae Barron, great game. Michael Taft, great game. Alfred Collins, fantastic game. He's played phenomenal. If he continues to trend in this direction, we're talking about a guy that's probably going to be like an early second-round pick, honestly. So really good. You're nailing it, Dan. Love that touchdown drive to give Texas a 20-10 lead. Shows the culture has changed in Austin. I absolutely agree. In the past, that drive does not get made. Arkansas probably wins this game like 17-13 or 17-16. So that was a phenomenal drive. But that is the problem I have, Dan, is they show the capability to do that. Why are you not doing that on a down-in and down-out basis, in a drive-in and drive-out basis? You're not doing it, and I don't know why. It's infuriating to watch because early in this game, guys, that game was there for the taking to seal that game as a first-half win. And what I mean by that is if they execute at a high level in the first half, this could have been a 24-0, 21-0 game at halftime, and this game would have been over because Arkansas would have been forced to pass a lot. And they had issues with that because their offensive line was not playing very well, and we ended up with 6 sacks. So that's the frustrating part about the whole thing. The cool thing is, watching around the country, no one seems to want to take a hold of anything, honestly. Northwestern was beating Ohio State. It took a blocked punt, which really wasn't a blocked punt. It was just a fumble by the Northwestern punter to get them turned around. You see Alabama struggle at certain times. You see Oregon, honestly, early in the season struggle. They've kind of caught on late. They're really the only one that plays consistently, but they're still not blowing out teams. Like, they beat Michigan they beat them by 21. They really beat them by 14. They scored a garbage time touchdown at the end. Michigan, they wouldn't have scored that if that was in the normal flow of the game. So there is no dominant team, and that's the main issue. If Texas were to get this offense consistent, they could be that dominant team. And there's that aspect of every team this year where if they're able to get it down consistently, they could be that dominant team. Right now, no one is. Let's jump into specifics here. So again, Texas wins this game 20-10 for any of you wondering if you didn't get to catch it. Quinn Ewers, 20 of 32, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He was also sacked. They said twice here. I think it was really 3 times, at least on the broadcast. That's what they said, and that's what I saw. Out of the 3 sacks, because that's what I believe I saw and what they said. I don't know what Bleacher Report's doing here with 2 sacks. They go back and switch it up. They did that a couple weeks ago and gave Anthony Hill credit for a sack. But Quinn Ewers, on 2 of those, it was his fault. The offensive line was fine on 2 of those. Quinn Ewers had stepped up one time when he did not need to, lowered his eyes, and then took the sack. The other time, he literally just, fell down and gave himself up for a sack, which, I don't mind, actually. If you're going to take a sack, give yourself up for a sack. That's the way to do it because you prevent a fumble or stepping up and throwing an interception of that sort of thing. You see that I'm a big Peyton Manning fan. You see that with him all the time when he was a quarterback in the NFL. He would just lay down if he didn't think anything was there and he was going to get sacked. Prevents injury, prevents fumbles, prevents interceptions. So I'm actually fine with that. Some of these other ones, though, he is rushing his internal clock when he has time, and it's a combination of multiple things, guys. He, for whatever reason, does not read defense as well post-snap. Pre-snap, he does, and you see that actually later in the game with, I believe, Arkansas had miscommunication, and Trey Wisner gets out on the swing pass, and Quinn Ewers recognizes it right away and hits him. But post-snap, when he actually has to sit back in the pocket and realize what's happening, he just doesn't read it. And I don't know what the reason for that is. I don't know if it's something that can be developed. And honestly, in this game, I do agree with Steve Sarkisian afterwards. They played a lot of 2 high safety and even 3 high safety at sometimes. They also bracketed Isaiah Bond. There weren't many deep shots to go around here. There was about 3 to 4 you could have had the whole game, and he just flat out missed them. He should have hit on 1 or 2 of those, and he just didn't. I don't expect him to go 4 of 4 on deep shots, but can he go 1 of 4? Can he go 2 of 4? If he can do that, that unlocks a different type of nature from this offense that we've yet to see. So overall, I don't think it was as bad as people are saying that I've read on Twitter of like, man, he needs to get benched. He's not that good. And then it's not as good as his defenders. There are guys that will just sit down and defend Quinn Ewers no matter what. I am in between. I am going to look at the player. I don't care what jersey he's wearing and judge him. I think Quinn Ewers had a C-plus game today. I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was great. He did not turn the ball over. There was really only one pass early in the game that I could argue should have been picked off, and that was to Gunnar Helm. But even then, I think he saw him, and I think he just threw that high because if he threw it lower, it would have been picked. And he just took a chance with it. But he still doesn't complete the deep ball well enough. The footwork wasn't great today, and that caused him to miss some underneath stuff he usually does hit. So that was my biggest issue with him, missing the easy stuff down and underneath. You have to hit those. But the thing is, if you bring in Arch is going to miss those too. He's not even going to look at him. He's going to try to force the ball deep, and he's going to turn the ball over more. So with the type of defense you have, we just need a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over and takes what is given to him, honestly. Now, can you win the national championship the way we're playing currently offensively? Absolutely not. Can you get in the playoff and win a game? Yes. So I think right now that's the ceiling, guys, is being a top 8 team in the country the way this team is playing offensively. If that changes, maybe we can get to that top 4 level. Maybe we even are because, again, down here in college football, but this team isn't a national championship caliber team offensively. Defensively is a whole nother question, answer, and we will get to that in a second. But again, Quinn Ewers, overall, I thought it was C+, has to hit a couple deep shots once in a while, and then he just has to get his footwork down more consistently and hit the underneath stuff like he usually does. That was off today. I don't know why that was off. He's never really been on with the deep ball, so I can't say he was off today with that. He's just never on with it. So that's my concern there with Quinn. Offensive line, I thought they were pretty good. Honestly, overall, they were better this week versus, honestly, a better front 4 in Arkansas, running the football, getting push up front to run the football, especially in the second half when they wore them down. They weren't great in pass protection for the most part because they weren't really required to be, guys. Arkansas, most of the time, just rushed 3 or 4 guys, and they did a good job with that. My issue is when they brought blitzes or brought 5 guys, they didn't do a great job. So again, just an inconsistent performance from this offensive line. I would probably grade them as a B. If they could have replicated that kill it drive is what I'm going to call it, the kill it drive, because that killed the game at the end of the game when we went up 2010. Again, if the whole team can just replicate that consistency and execution, this offense is good enough to win a national championship, but they just don't do that. And a lot of that goes on the offensive line. And that's another reason you see Quinn Ewers taking sacks he doesn't have to, is because he does not trust this offensive line currently. And there's definitely some credence to that. I saw Cole Hudson play today. I thought he actually played better than DJ Campbell. I was right the first time I said that a couple weeks ago. The PFF grade showed me that. I don't know if the grade's going to show me that this time. I thought Kelvin Banks was pretty good. The left side, from Jake Majors on to the left side has been fine this year. It's really DJ Campbell, Cole Hudson at the right guard position, and then Cameron Williams, who did end up playing in this game at the right tackle position, which has been the weakness of this Texas offensive line. Again, not enough push. The outside zone seems to work the most. Inside zone, we get not that much of a push, but outside we do. So overall, I'm going to give them a B from this game. And again, I'll get more detailed when I watch this back and do a recap. Running backs. Okay. I think Jaden Blue the last 2 weeks actually played really well. Again, my issue with him is what we saw in this game. He continues to fumble. I know when we had our first bye week, I checked in on how this team was doing rushing, and I said it was not good enough to win a national championship. I think it's gotten better since then, but it still isn't at that level. But my biggest concern was fumbling the football. At that time, Jaden Blue, every 40 touches was fumbling the football. He fumbled again today. And guys, this is an unacceptable fumble to me. I think every running back or every high-level running back in college football and in the NFL knows when you were running for the end zone and you have someone usually on your right side and you start to look over, there's most of the time someone running up from behind you that's going to go for that football. You have to be more aware there. And he just isn't. I don't know why that is. And we see this consistently with Jaden Blue. He loses the football. Luckily, we got a little bit of wind blowing from someone, or someone blew blew some air out of their mouth and caused that football to go out of bounds. Otherwise, Arkansas recovers, and we're talking about something totally different than that kill it drive. So he's got to be better with that. And they honestly, Trey Wisner's really the only one that doesn't fumble that much. He fumbled in the Oklahoma game, but every other time I can't think of a fumble from him. It's either Jaden Blue or Jared Gibson. Jared Gibson fumbled 2 times last week. And that is my biggest concern going forward with this running back room. And it's going to be my biggest concern going forward with this offense. This defense is good enough to win a national championship. This defense is a top 5 defense in all of college football. My problem with them is they turn the ball. They're not consistent, one, but then they turn the ball over. You cannot turn the ball over and give teams short field position a la the Georgia game when you have this type of defense. If you just play clean football, you're going to be in every game because this defense is really damn good, even versus like an Oregon, Ohio State. If you can't get the offense going, you have that defense to rely on. So can we please stop turning the ball over, running back, stop putting it on the ground? Quinn Ewers was good today, had an interception last week, but I can take, 7 interceptions to 1 turnover in the past 2 weeks. I will take that all day, every day. That's a 3.5 touchdown to interception ratio. So he's been fine. It's more of the running backs. They have to be better in that regard. And again, guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. It really helps out the channel. We are trying to grow here. That is the key. If we can grow, build a community, we can have call-in shows. That is my goal for this channel. I want a call-in show. I want to be able to interact with you guys more, but right now we just don't have enough. And guys, I know you guys go to On Texas and those guys, they don't have a call-in show. You're not going to be able to interact the same way. If you build this community, we will be able to have a call-in show and you will be able to talk to me. You will be able to interact with me. We'll be able to get to know each other. So please hit that like button, subscribe. Defense, phenomenal. We have allowed a 300-yard game from an offense once this year, and it was last week in a total blowout versus Florida. If that's not a total blowout, we don't allow it this week or last week either. This week, Arkansas, 231 yards on 59 plays, guys. That is phenomenal defense from this Texas team. 231 yards on 59 plays is 3.92 yards per play, because it's 3.915, so you round up. 3.92 yards per play. That is phenomenal defensively. And people can say whatever they want about Texas struggling versus Arkansas, struggling versus Vanderbilt. There's only one side of the ball that is struggling on this Texas team, and it ain't the defense. The defense is phenomenal. It's the best or second best in the SEC. It's either Tennessee or Texas. It's going to be interesting how Tennessee does versus Georgia today. I think then you can draw apples to apples comparison between the two. Arkansas had 82 yards rushing, and a lot of that came in the second half. They basically did nothing in the first half. Overall, just a really good day from this Texas team. 6 sacks on the day. 1 from Barron Terrell, 1 from Jahdae Barron, 1 from Alfred Collins, 2 from Colin Simmons, 1 from Trey Moore. And congratulations to Trey Moore. That was his first sack as a Texas Longhorn. So congratulations to you, sir, for your first sack as a Texas Longhorn. Jahdae Barron also had an interception in this game, had a pass breakup, had a sack. I mean, he was just all over the damn place. Jay Barron's going to win the Thorpe Award unless he gets injured or something crazy goes bad the next 2 weeks. He's been phenomenal. Leona Lafau had 5 tackles when he plays. He shows up. Kobe Black, guys, we talked about him. I said he at the point was playing better than Malik Muhammad, but because he's a freshman, he's going to be inconsistent. Today, you saw that inconsistency. He got beat multiple times by Andrew Armstrong, who's a really good wide receiver, going to play in the NFL, probably be a 3rd or 4th round pick. And I said that on a down in, down out basis, I'll take Malik Muhammad. I actually think Kobe Black might have higher upside, but right now he's just not as good. So I was fine rotating him in. I just don't like the matchup. Can you put him on someone else other than their best wide receiver? I didn't love that. But overall, they kept Andrew Armstrong in check. I believe he only had like 5 or 6 catches. Yeah, 6 catches for 74 yards. That's holding him in check because he's a really, really talented player. Luke Haas, who's could have been an all-SEC tight end last year if he didn't get hurt. 2 catches, 11 yards. And then Isaiah Satania, 2 receptions, 24 yards. So we held their weapons in check offensively. Dubon, 7 attempts, 30 yards, 4.3 yards per attempt. And then Jaquindon Jackson, 11 for 56, 5.1 yards per attempt. He was pretty good, and he also had a touchdown. Taylon Green, though, struggled mightily. 17 of 25, 149 yards, a pick, and sacked 6 times. Inconsistent from him, inconsistent play calling, I thought, from Bobby Petrino, which definitely helped us on defense. I don't think they really had a game plan. And if they did, I don't know what it was. It was really weird. They kind of just like threw stuff at the wall and see who would stick. They tried to attack downfield at certain points, but it was multiple times in a row. Then they tried to run the ball multiple times in a row. Then they tried to screen multiple times in a row. There was no mixing and matching. It was all the same thing in a row, which doesn't make any sense to me, but hey, do what you got to do, I guess. But overall, the defense was phenomenal in this game. No complaining. And finally, let's talk about special teams. Bert Auburn makes what did he make? 1 or 2 field goals in this game? I know he made 1 for sure. Overall, a really good game from him. And the punting game actually was a lot better this week than it was the last couple weeks. So overall, Michael Kern hopefully has turned a corner because we really need that. Last thing, Silas Bolden, my guy. Can you stop doing stuff like that? The ball was going to go in the end zone. He's like, nah, I'm picking this up at the 1.5 yard line. I'm going to return it. He got to the 12. But he's doing he has yet to fumble, and he's doing crazy stuff. The one other punt, he freaking falls down as he's catching. I'm like, my God, Jeff Banks needs heart medication watching Silas Bolden catch these punt and kick returns. My God, man, just take it off. And yeah, Bert Auburn, 2 of 2, 39 yards was his long. We just need you to do that, brother. Be good from 45 and in, and we'll take it. He hasn't really been the most consistent this year, but really good game today from him. And overall, guys, I'm going to give Texas a grade on this game just based off purely not rewatching it back. I think Texas probably gets a B- from me overall. I thought the offense was like a C. I thought the defense was an A-, so I'm going to go B- overall. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Can you please hit that like button? Please subscribe down below. I will be here 7 p.m. Eastern time Monday, breaking to this game down further, recapping it, talking about the Kentucky game, and probably some recruiting news as well. So please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. And as always, guys, hook 'em. And it is 3:33 on a Saturday in Oklahoma. And why not? We'll throw them in there. Arkansas still suck. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.